We'll go to chapter 3, economics, the demand curve. So when we talk about the demand curve, before we go to the demand curve, what is demand itself? Demand is the quantity of goods and services that consumers are willing to buy at a given price and time. That is demand. So let's just go down and see what they say here. Effective demand. So demand is the amount of goods that will be bought at a given price over a period of time. However, in economics, it is effective demand that is really important. Effective demand shows how much would be bought. That is how much people can afford to buy and would actually buy at any given price. It does not mean how much people would like to buy if they had an endless amount of money. So demand is the amount of goods consumers are willing to buy, but that is not what really that matters. What matters is effective demand, the willingness and the ability to buy. So that means it's not about what you have, amount of money you have with you, but irrespective of whatever you have with you, but you have the willingness and ability to buy and you bought it. That is effective demand. So it is about willing to buy, ability to buy, and buying it. That is what they are talking about, effective demand. Is it clear? Yes. So go to the demand curve. For demand curve, we're talking about a graph that represents the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. Do you get it? Yes. So demand curve is a graph that shows the relationship, the inverse relationship between quantity demanded and the price of a product. Is that clear? Yes. Then we have the demand schedule. Demand schedule is the table that shows the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price of a product. Is it clear? Yes. So we'll go down. So we have this. All right, they said the figure. The demand curve slopes down from left to right. For most goods, this is always the shape of the demand curve. This is important because it shows the price and the quantity demanded have an inverse relationship. This means when prices go up, demand will fall. When prices go down, demand will rise. So there's always inverse relationship and it's a downward slope. So this statement means the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Is it clear? Yes. So we move on. The movement along the demand curve. When we talk about movement along the demand curve, we're talking about contraction or expansion. Contraction or expansion. So for the movement along the demand curve, it occurs because price is changing. Other factors that affect demand will remain constant, ceteris paribus. So when we are dealing with price, all other factors that might affect what we want to buy would remain constant. Price will change. But if we are talking about other factors, it will bring about a shift in the demand curve. But for movement along the demand curve, it's based on contraction and expansion on the price change. That is movement. Movement is about price. Other factors is about shift in the supply in the demand curve. So for movement, if the price is increasing, it brings about contraction. If the price is falling, it brings about expansion. The higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Is it clear? Yes. So we'll move on. So we have the straight line demand curve. Are you there? Are you there? Yes. So the demand curve is said. So
we do the activity.
Do we?
Let's do this.
Okay, sure. Yeah, they said we have the activity. Let me just reduce it. Okay. So we have, I said, demand for cricket tickets. An Indian cricket stadium has a capacity of 30,000, which is shown here. So they said, what will be the attendance if 400 is charged to attend the match? If 400 is charged, the attendance will be around 7.5. Is it clear? So what price must be charged to fill the stadium? The stadium has a 30,000 capacity, right? Yes. So for the stadium to be filled, the price must be 200. Is it clear? Yes. Any question about that? So we'll move on now, right? So the demand curves from that's about that anyway. So let's just go down. Go down. I explain. A shift in the demand curve. Are you there? Yes. So if the price of a good changes, there's movement along the demand curve. We talked about that. If price changes, if price is increasing, contraction, movement along the demand curve. If price is falling, expansion, movement along the demand curve. Clear? Yes. So if the price of goods changes, there's movement along the demand curve. A change in any other factor, such as income, for example, will be shown as a shift in the demand curve. So income is the amount of money an individual earn over a period of time. That's the amount of money you have. So if your income changes, it is a non-price factor. It is not price. So if the level of income changes, the demand for goods and services might also change, but it will bring about a shift in the demand curve. So at that point in time, price remains constant. Income is changing. Income is a non-price factor. Are you with me? So if the income level increases, if your income increases, you demand for more because you have to buy. At that point in time, your disposable income would increase. Then your purchasing power would rise. You'll be able to buy more. So if income increases, the demand for goods and services increases, shifting the demand curve rightward. On the other hand, if income falls, the demand will fall, shifting the demand curve leftward from D1 to D3. Do you get it?
Yes.
So here they said if there's an increase in income, the quantity demanded would rise at every given price. As a result, the demand curve will shift to the right to D2, from D1 to D2. Then the quantity demanded will reduce from will increase from Q1 to Q2. Are you getting that?
Yes.
So if there's a decrease in income, the quantity demanded will fall from Q1 to Q3, bringing about a shift in the demand curve from D1 to D3, leftward shift.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So we have the multiple choice question then. Which of the following statement is true about a demand curve? When there is a price change, there's movement along the demand curve. Yes, when there is a price change, there's always a movement along the demand curve. Clear. Go to question 2. Which of the following will cause a demand curve to shift to the left? Shift.
Wait. A rise in income.
A rise will shift the demand curve to the left.
To the left.
To the left means reduction.
A fall
A fall
in income.
in income, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, a fall in income, which is D. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that ends chapter 3, demand curve.